What's up, folks? Welcome to another edition of Let's Talk Houston Rockets. It's me, KG Kris Gardner, owner of the Houston Roundball Review. Gohan, how are you? Wise Citizens, how are you? Salute to you as well. You can tell I'm not in my usual spot, my usual locale. WK, how are you? Tony M, thank you for everybody for chiming in. Solo Dulo as well. Haas, how are you doing? Family's here. Great to see you guys. Going to do this for a few minutes. I am in Tampa, Florida with the University of Houston women's basketball team. They got a game Sunday afternoon against South Florida, 2 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Central. Same time as the LSU South Carolina game. It's going to be on, I think, ESPN. UH game will be on ESPN too. Probably nobody's going to watch that game, but no matter. I'll be there in the building. Asleep Art, how are you? Gohan, Danny Green, I don't think it was some kind of a question whether he'd be here, report the Rockets anyway. You know, Rafael Stone said Friday that they had talks and it wasn't a certainty one way or the other which way Danny was leaning. But I think Rafael kind of mentioned that the conversations were good he had with Danny Green, but it'd be up to Danny what he decided to do, whether he wanted to be let go or stick it out for the rest of this season with the Rockets. But that's what we're going to talk about here. Give me your thoughts on it. On the deals, Eric Gordon is no longer a Rocket. Salute to Rafael Stone for getting rid of Eric Gordon. And I'm going to say it like that, getting rid of, because it seemed like it was not going to happen. It finally happened. Eric Gordon is a Clipper. John Wall will be waived again. So KPJ's timeline, it's strange. I have not heard anything new since he saw the foot specialist. No news, no updates regarding that whatsoever. And that was like last week. So this week is come and gone and still nothing new. No word on that whatsoever. So yeah, go on, put that up. I heard about and saw clips of how the game ended last night. I did not watch the game other than yesterday's press conference. I am taking some time, some me time, a little bit of time away from the NBA for a day or two, just to refresh my brain and recharge my batteries a little bit. UH men's basketball team is off until Thursday. And like I said, I'm with the women's team right today and Sunday for their game. But other than that, pretty much relaxing for just a couple of days to recharge batteries, because March Madness will be here soon. And I'm going to be on the road a lot. And I got to get ready for all that. So bear with me there. Bear with me for these few days of doing things a little bit differently. If you didn't catch it earlier today, my man Adolphus A.D. Moore in the AdMax Corner, he did his show from Glendale, Arizona, talking the big game that's taking place tomorrow. So Houston Roundball Review is in Tampa and Glendale, Florida. Big game, NFL, and then a big game for women's basketball, for the Cougs anyway, in Tampa. So Knicks is a tank target. A lot of folks think that way, Baba Shola. But I go back to it. Let me say this. It was last week? I think I mentioned it on last week's Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Sarge, Brian Bearfield asked Steven Silas why he did not have Josh Christopher finish the game and why Sarge didn't say it, but why did not Josh Christopher finish the game? And Steven Silas said his answer was he went with Daisha Nix because he feels that Daisha Nix is a more physical and better defender. And when he said that, it's a good thing a camera was not on my face, because I think the reaction on my face would have given it away when I was like, he said what? he said what? He believes Daisha Nix is what? I was like, whoa, okay, but if that's what Coach Silas believes, that says a lot. That really, truly, and that's an honest answer. Y'all know how I give it here on this on these live stream shows, and even some of my YouTube shorts. Man, it's like, what? I had to stop myself from laughing out loud right there in the press conference, but that's what he said. So putting Daisha Nix in the game last night to finish out those final moments when he had better options for defense. There you go. There you go. So keep that in mind. If again, Daisy Nix is in the game in those closing moments, you know why. So I'm just telling you what Steven Silas said. So yeah, I don't know. I don't want to laugh because I like my credential. I don't want to lose it, but to have it revoked. But the look on my face would have been enough, man, because it was something else. I was like, wow. All right. What are your thoughts on the deals? I like the fact that Rockets got second round picks, Danny Green, John Wall, whatever. The pick swap that they get, swapping basically with the Bucks, Clippers end up with 18th pick instead of 28th pick. That's beneficial. That draft pick, this draft should be deep. It's not going to be, there's a lot of questions past the top two, obviously, but there's a lot of talent. 3 through 20 or so. But so Rockets should get a solid player at 18, and then after that, just go next few years, make deals, trades, because it'd be so young and don't need to add on too many other younger players, unless they're talented like Victor Wembanyama or Scoot Henderson. But I like that. I think Gohan agreed. Pick swap was nice. Salute Rafael for that as well. Made that happen. So I'll give him credit for that. Sleep agrees also. And, getting John Wall in the trade and the Rockets going to waive John again. Man. All right, John. Again, I wonder if John and I've seen colleagues report that John Wall would be one of the top buyout, candidates for teams wanting guard help. And I'm like, really? I got more doubts about that. We'll see how much John has left in the tank. But good luck to him. Where he lands on somewhere. Terrence Ross sounds like he's going to go leaning towards signing with the Mavs. So good luck there. And where's my man? Jerry. You watching the end of Stanford, Arizona? I'm going to be petty. But boy, you mean it's tough to win conference games? Oh, wow. Anyway, Stanford's going to beat, what is it? Under 500 Stanford, 10-14 Stanford is now 11-14 Stanford because they just beat Arizona. So, but I digress. We're talking about something else. That's college basketball, and that's a little relation to the Cougs, men's basketball there. But John Wall get included in another deal, be waived, and good luck to him. No, Baba Sola, that's where I'm going. After this, you get hopefully Rockets, for Rockets' sake, they get Wemby or Scoot Henderson, those top two picks, and then after that, accumulate assets, and then use those assets to acquire veterans. I think that should be the Rockets' plan going forward for the next few years, because you can be too young. You can have too many youngsters, and it ultimately will stunt the development of the team and prolong the winning process. So, but but I saw that, and I've never. We're going to shift gears and talk this because Jerry brought it up. I saw the end of the Virginia Duke game. I've seen the clips of it. I'm here with one of my buddies who's a former referee. That was a foul. Virginia fouled Duke. Kyle Filipkowski was fouled before the buzzer had sounded. Contact was made before the zeros, triple hit, all that kind of stuff. It was a foul. And for the refs to go to the monitor and say, oh, no, clock expired. Okay, disagree on that one. But so this not a good year for officiating in a lot of sports, college, pro, basketball, football, on and on. But and it's interesting how Russell Westbrook in Utah yesterday, it seemed like they were having pleasant conversations about Russ. If you want to, this is what things are, Russ. We're not going to play you a lot of minutes consistently here in Utah. There might be some games you won't play. And Russ is like, thank you for your honesty. Russ and his people like, thank you for your honesty. And now today, Paul George says, we can make it, Russ work. Russ, come on, man. Come to the Clippers. It'll be a blast. Okay. Good luck to Russ. So, Russ, and Russ, that's another good point. Good point there. Russ being professional and his people being professional. But Utah Jazz fans and Russ are not exactly best of friends. And it's not quite late night. It's 9 o'clock at Central Time, but 10 o'clock here on the East Coast here in Tampa. So cheers. You see, I've already finished most of this drink, and it's not apple juice. Trust me on that one. It's complimentary of the hotel. And boy, what the last few hours here at this hotel, there are 3 elevators in this hotel. 3. 1 works. 3 elevators, 8 floors, 1 elevator works. There were 2 young ladies stuck in one of the elevators for about an hour. Had to call the fire department to get them out of that elevator. The second elevator hasn't worked for a few days. So yes, this hotel, and it's a fairly well-known hotel chain, has 1 working elevator, and it's sold. I don't know about sold out, but there's a lot of people here. There's a lot going on, softball tournaments in town, a cheer competition, and soccer competition. So there's kids running all over this place in this hotel. So it's noisy, parents all over the place, but yes, 1 working elevator here. So I took the stairs. I'm on the 8th floor and took the stairs. Man, so yeah. So it was a quirk. And to see those 2 young ladies, they were in the elevator and they weren't freaking out. They weren't panicking or anything, but they were in there for a while, at least an hour. And we called, and it seemed like the front desk didn't even know about it until we called. I don't know. That's not a good sign either. So clearly I would not name that hotel chain. So, but yeah. Ooh, all right. Going to play this clip, this combo clip of Rafael Stone from Friday's press conference. It's the clip I have on my YouTube channel at Houston Roundball Review with his answer to Terrence Harris's question. First question, and then second question is his answer to my man Kelly Eco. So listen to it because I want to get you guys' thoughts on it. Baba Shola, haven't heard anything lately about Danny Green, but listen to it because I'm really curious when y'all heard or hear these comments, in case you haven't yet, what your thoughts are on what he says. So take a listen, check it out.
Can you ask the question again?
Okay, I want to find out just where do you guys feel like you are in this rebuild process, and are you where you would want to be and thought you would be when you first set out?
I think we are actually. Yeah, I mean, I think I think we have a lot of cap space. I think we have quite a bit of talent on the team. It is for sure unproven talent. But I'm very optimistic about our players and their futures. And so now we have kind of flexibility to start to really grow and build. So I do think we are where we hoped we'd be at kind of this stage.
Hey, Rafael, just what is your view on kind of the struggles this team has gone through this season? And now, between now and the end of the year, do you expect some of the similar struggles on offense and defense just because of all the young guys that you have under contract?
Similar struggles. I think I know what you mean, but just be. I need you to be more specific. I'm sorry, Kelly.
So I mean, this year has been a struggle in terms of trying to put together a comprehensive defense, comprehensive offense. Now with the trade deadline passed and Eric Gordon gone, and given how important he was to the structure of this team, do you expect some of the similar struggles that we've seen at times this season on both sides of the ball?
I mean, some of it is you hope that we grow on both sides of the ball. I mean, I'm struggling with the word struggle. Like, if you're saying, are we magically going to transform into a playoff team? I think that's probably very hard. But we want to see improvement. We want to see our defensive rotations get better. we want to see our offensive execution get better. Just in terms of guys understanding what they're supposed to do. Largely those things had nothing to do with Eric. So I think, yeah, I guess, you know, the honest answer is I haven't thought about it in that context much. So I guess I'm struggling to give you a good answer. What we do want is our guys really competing really hard. And I think if that happens, you're going to see improvement, because if you play hard and you're trying to do the right thing, that repetition will result in improvement both offensively and defensively on an individual basis, will result in a team basis. That's really a key for our group. And so I think that's what we're looking for. You know, your word struggle, I'm struggling with, but that's what we're looking for from the group is kind of, you know, the effort which leads to really good habits, and those habits leading to improvement.
All right. I like the comments you guys posted while the clip was playing. Johnny, anytime I hear Stone speak, it kind of rubs me the wrong way. Maybe it's the lawyer in him and the way he chooses to talk around things. Valid. Babashola, Stone doesn't believe himself sometimes. He says something and his face says another thing. Asleep Art 11, he tries to talk around things. And he is a lawyer. Yes. He's not very good at it. Gohan, yep, he is a lawyer. Jerry, it's a low blow here. He's learning the Nick Casario method of saying a lot of words and not telling the media anything. I could feel the tension between him and the media, especially at the end. Why I said it sums it up succinctly, sad. Oh my goodness. We ran out of time to ask questions, because I was going to ask a question more specifically about Danny Green and if the guy's going to play, who's going to play Friday night. But I was last, and it was too late to ask questions. So, and if you haven't, I'm not even sure the Rockets posted the entire 20+ minute session on the website rockets.com. But a Big Sarge asked Rafael, basically tried to get Rafael to give an update on Stephen Silas's contract status. And Rafael said that he will not, basically it's his policy, belief, the franchise policy, to not discuss publicly contracts. So that was his answer regarding that, because Sarge was trying to get his lead in was Stephen Silas was hired to coach a veteran team. And now the last 2 years, he's coaching a very young team. And will he get the chance to coach this team going forward? But basically what Sarge wanted to know, and Rafael had nothing to do with. Sarge wanted to know if Stephen Silas's contract, the option would be extended, picked up. No. But he's got it. Well, he doesn't. Okay. Babashola never thought Stone articulates himself very well, and maybe that's the reason why he does very few interviews. The best thing about it is, yeah, because he led into it too, I thought as well, about how he phrased the question. But the best thing is, Rockets got cap room, a lot of cap room. They project to have the most cap space of any team in the NBA this coming off season. I think they're going to maximize most of that cap space via trade, because I don't believe any top tier free agent that's available will come here. So go the trade route. So they're going to be bad to finish out this season, hire a new coach sometime in the off season, and go forward. And next season should be better, has to be better. New coach, same expectations to win more games than this season, depending on who they get with the lottery pick? Interesting question. Top tier free agents, no. Wimby here or not, I don't believe the Rockets are just a destination. I mean, heck, they weren't a destination for elite free agents truly previously, because the Rockets, the perception of the franchise from elite free agents has never been, not say never, but has not been good for a while. And that was before Tillman became the owner. So go figure that. Yeah, I agree with this. I definitely agree with this. Rockets need to compete for the play-in next year. I agree. I really do. That should be a goal, legit goal next year. And this question adds, do I think there's any way Silas stays for next year? Nope. Yeah, I think he'll be gone very soon after this season is over. So it's a perspective from D-Skills H-Town. He thinks in this situation that just as much Rafael can say it publicly, and he is bad at talking around that fact. What do I think about that? I mean, he's a lawyer. He tries to spin it as best ways he can. And get this. Should the Rockets be interested in any of the Nets players after the draft? Who you got in mind, Babashola? Cam Thomas isn't going anywhere. But who do you have in mind? Nick Claxton, I doubt he goes anywhere. I think the Nets are pretty set after the deals they made to start over again, start over a different way. So they made the best out of what they could, situation that they kind of created for themselves. Cam Johnson. Nick Claxton. I think Nick Claxton's probably going to stay in Brooklyn. It probably, I think, should have helped their cap situation to get him a deal. Daryl Morey gave better. You really do. J-Mom believes Daryl Morey gave better interviews and was more open about things. Daryl had his way of talking. I'll just say it like that. He had his way of talking. I wasn't a huge Morey fan, but he was, I think, more straightforward than Rafael. And to Daryl's credit, one thing I will give him credit for and maintain that he swung for the fences and deals. And if a deal didn't work out, he did not wait too long to make a correction and to make another deal. So I commend him for that. Oh yeah. He was a friend of the media, and he wasn't my friend, so we didn't get along very much. So I'll just leave it at that. But Mike Brown, first year with the Kings, and then they are now the Kings and not the Kings anymore. But they were bad for so long, 16 years. They have talent, and a lot of their young talent is been around the league a little bit to gain some experience and pick up some good habits. Mike Brown is a better coach. So, but yeah, 16 years, Mike Brown's in his first. So Rockets, I do not believe the Rockets it'll take 16 years for Rockets to make the playoff going forward. And like I said, the goal should be playing next year for the Rockets, unless their coaching hire is just awful. just somebody that's awful. I don't know who that could be. Let's see if Silas goes, Stone get one of the assistant coaches as acting coach for all. I doubt that. I disagree. The next head coach may not cost a lot, may not be an elite hire. So that that definitely will narrow the options for head coach. So that could be a hindrance. Rockets might go somewhere younger who costs less. If they go the dreaded route of Jeff Van Gundy, that will not be a cheap hire. So we'll see how it all plays out. Solo's question: do I think the Rockets will draft a player with a Clippers pick? Depends on who that is. Depends on who's at that spot. If it's someone who's higher on their draft board and falls to them, they think it's great value, then they'll probably keep it. If it's not somebody that's really high on their board, then most likely they would possibly pick for someone else and then work out a deal after the draft. So, but I think the Kings, Mike Brown's a defensive guy and trying to get better. More defensive guys over there. The Spurs are tanking hard. Yep, they are. Which is, like I said, that's one of the reasons why I keep harping on it with the family on here, on these shows. When you're complaining about pointing out the fact, get rid of Steven Silas or promote Luke because Luke holds the players accountable. And as Luke does, yes, he does. But if Steven Silas is fired right now, today, tomorrow, whatever, the Rockets would win more games with Luke as the interim head coach. And it would not take a lot of games to get them with a worse record than the Spurs. The Spurs have lost 12 in a row. They're 14-43. The Rockets are 13-43. The Hornets are 15-43. The Pistons are 15-47. The Hornets on a 7-game losing streak. Rockets on a 5-game losing streak. The Spurs on a 12-game losing streak. The only reason Detroit is 3-7 in their last 10, their win last night was over the Spurs. And I think one of their other wins out of these last 3 out of these 10 was over the Hornets. So you can figure out what they're doing. They're beating only bad team that Detroit has lost to was the Rockets in Detroit when they didn't give any effort. Just screwed around and couldn't rebound worth a damn. So, but yeah, so we shall see. So the James Wiseman deal, I understand it from a perspective that Troy Weaver, Detroit GM, was very high on Wiseman. That's about the only reason. Sadiq Bey was not going to be in Detroit long term. I think that became more and more obvious the last few weeks. He wasn't worth the money he was going to be seeking. He wasn't a fit the long term for the Pistons either. But James Wiseman's injury prone, got talent, potential. I don't see him, places have listed him as a center. He's a 4. He's not a center. Same with Marvin Bagley. He's a 4, not a center either. So we'll see how that all fits. Jalen Duren is a center. So James Wiseman, if he's healthy, could be a backup in a pinch against bigger teams. But yeah, they'll be playing them together, 4 and a 5. But Sadiq Bey, trust me, he was not going to be a long-term answer in Detroit. The money he was seeking, Detroit was not going to give him. So, but who they got for Sadiq in the deal, questionable fit. I'll say it like that. Questionable fit. We'll see with James Wiseman. Because it's not like James Wiseman's defense is any good. Sadiq Bey's defense isn't good either. But, Sadiq Bey's at least had a 50-point game in his young NBA career. But anyway, so is the deal going through? The Warriors have to answer that question. They were counting on Gary Payton II to play, to contribute. And his agent, I saw it this evening. I think, was it Woj tweeted? I know Chris Haynes tweeted that GP2 was not taking Toradol, as someone reported, Friday, that the Blazers were not giving him that for the pain in his, core muscle. There's a lot going on that story. We may never know. But the Warriors, they got to decide what they want to do with that. And I mean, I think they're probably going to accept the deal and then see if Gary Payton can play through the pain or take a few weeks off, and the rest will help him be ready for the end of March for a playoff position push. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, I think the Warriors will just accept the deal and just see how much pain Gary Payton II can endure and play through. I mean, so they've been doing for a while, apparently. But Ty, y'all know how I feel about Ty and Daishen Nix. Ty should be playing more than Daishen Nix, period. Just period. I mean, there's not much else to say. Ty's a better point guard than Daishen Nix. He's more of a leader than Daishen Nix. He has a go-to shot. It's reliable with that floater. A lot of things. A lot more positives about Ty than Daishen Nix. That's me, and I think a lot of folks here on these live streams agree with that sentiment as well. So, Rockets in Philly on Monday. What do you think about that? Will they shock the Sixers, or will Philly fan be, if the Eagles win the big game over KC tomorrow, I wonder where Mr. Harden is going to watch the big game, and if he will be where he will be enjoying the big game, and if he'll be enjoying the big game so much that it will impact his performance on Monday against the Rockets. Did I word that nicely enough? So did that make sense? Did I word that well without saying it, but y'all can figure out what I'm trying to say? Where Mr. Harden will be enjoying the big game, and if his celebrations will be too taxing for him to perform at a high level on Monday in Philly against the Rockets. Of course, big fella Joel Embiid is going to still playing. He's going to put in a lot of work there. So we shall see what happens there. Rockets on the road before the All-Star break. So that's going to be good for me a little bit, with a lot of teams out of town, college and pro. So I can recharge the batteries going forward here for this stretch run of the season. Reminder, everybody, of course, you're watching the Let's Talk Houston Rockets show here on the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. Hit that like button, like the video, smash that button. Tell your friends about the show. Tell your friends about the content here on the Houston Roundball Review. We got another, I think AD in the corner will have another show after the big game Sunday to discuss do a post-game wrap-up of the big game. And then Cougs played Thursday. Men's team played on the road against SMU, so we'll have a Let's Rage Cougs Thursday night. We're getting closer to having our Let's Rage Cougs merchandise that we will start promoting soon. Working on design and artwork for that, finalizing that. I think we agreed on logos and stuff today. So hopefully we're getting closer to having that available for fans to purchase with the website and order t-shirts, and then we'll go from there for more Let's Rage Cougs merchandise. Plan is to have that ready for the conference tournament and definitely the NCAA tournament. So we're getting closer on that, moving forward, onward and upward with merch. So we're spreading our wings on that side. Before the big game tomorrow, we're going to have a Folks Talking Sports show with Andy Yanez and Willie Gibson, and I'll try to join them after the women's game here in Tampa. That show will start 4 p.m. Central Time with Folks Talking Sports, talk about the Pac-12 and Big 12 and a little bit about the big game and all those good things. Not just basketball, some football, but tune in for that. Another edition of Folks Talking Sports, sponsored by 5starprops.com. I think KJ has a great chance to win the dunk contest. I know he's been hyped about participating. He wanted to be in it last year. He was bummed that he wasn't in it last year. So he says he's got some tricks up his sleeve that he's going to showcase in the contest. So I think he has a great chance to win it. So I look forward to seeing what he does. But the dunk contest has been ruined. It's not the same like it was back in the day, in my younger years, when Dominique and Mike and those guys were going at it, and Vince Carter put on that show. But yeah, I think KJ's got some dunks in mind. He's going to put them out there, and hopefully he lands them on the first try and doesn't take him 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 tries before he finally gets the dunk to go down. But wish him well. But I know he's excited to get it going and put on a show for the fans. So that'll be a good thing to watch there. My man Mike Will and Terry haven't chimed in yet on tonight's show. So yeah, I'm going to post this because we're all grown here. Coming from Jerry, because it's legit. James will be knee deep in the big booty girl Sunday night. Yeah, I think not many people on here would disagree with that statement right there. So yeah, go on. What rumor did you see? You're just going to toss it out there and not go into detail, not going to expound on the rumor you saw last week. And this is a good point here. Where is it? Where'd it go? Good point, because Josh and those lobs, yeah. Josh and Dalen didn't really work last year. But where is it? Oh, about the Vince Carter? How far back are you going? So, because I think I kind of remember a rumor about Vince possibly joining the Rockets. Heck, there was another rumor. But, rumors come and go, so let's not dwell on it. (2008). Let's see. I don't know if that's where I heard it about Vince coming here. So I'm not sure if I remember the rumor exactly about Vince and the Rockets possibilities. But the timeline sounds about right. But I don't remember the exact details of the rumor. So DNP won't even be. See, now we're turning it into KG After Dark with statements like this one and Jerry's statement. So yeah, but if the Sixers list James as a DNP for Monday's game, we can all surmise the reasons for his do not play for Monday night, and we probably wouldn't be far wrong in the reasons for it. But James is going to be James, and James hasn't changed yet, so we shall see. I just wonder if he's going to watch the big game in Philly, or if he's going to fly back to Houston to watch it. Because, James, he can afford a private jet and come down here and visit one of his regular spots. He might even have a party. He might even find out James had to throw a party here in H-Town. Ain't no telling, This is a great comment. Oh, Jerry. Only comments like that here on Let's Talk Houston Rockets on the live stream show on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. That's an outstanding comment right there. Outstanding. Oh, that's a great one. Man. Cheers to you, Jerry. You and I go a long way, man. Go back a long way to the UH days. Long time. D skills as well. So salute. Thank you guys for the support, watching the show, and the great comments. That's outstanding. Outstanding right there. That's hilarious. That is a great one, man. Oh my goodness. All right. Let's see here. But I agree. The pick swap with the Rockets got in the John Wall deal. Yep. Second round picks, 24 and 25 from OKC. People downplay the importance of second round picks, but if you have them, you can use them in trades. So they're just assets. So that part makes them valuable. What's up, Mike? Did you miss that comment? We were talking about Mike Will. No problem, man. Glad you can make it here on the show. Did you see the comments? We were discussing about James Harden celebrating the big game, and then somewhere celebrating the big game, and then missing Monday's game against the Rockets for 2 month celebration. Oh my goodness gracious, man. Oh boy. So yeah, Mike, you gonna be at one of those parties with James at, man? You a big baller like that, and you a high roller? You have the connections? You can tell us where James gonna be throwing a party in H-Town, and be a exclusive party for James and a couple of friends, and then others. Oh my goodness. All right. That's great. Mike Wheeler, you poured out a little bit of refreshment for Eric Gordon going to the Clippers. It's anybody. Give me your thoughts. Everybody, give me your thoughts on Eric Gordon. Eric Gordon's time here at the Rockets the last few years. What do you remember most about Eric Gordon here with the Rockets? So give me those comments. See, yeah, Mike, I thought I figured you were somebody in the know. I thought so. I used to be somebody like that in the know. I used to know some people, news people. I'm not gonna say too much. Let me be quiet. But in previous show, y'all knew if I hung out with Charles Barkley and some of the Rockets, I knew I had a good time too back in the day. I just put it like that. So yeah. Do I think the report? I think I'll put it out there again. I doubt it. I just think it's James and his people trying to get some leverage. Because I don't know. I think it would truly just stunt the growth of the youngsters here on the Rockets. So no. I mean, if it happens, I'd be surprised if it happens, man. I just say it like that. Never say never in the NBA. That's one thing I've learned all these years covering these dudes. Never say never. But I think it's unlikely. I'll say that. I think it's unlikely. Not impossible, but unlikely. But it's about Eric Gordon, yeah. Well, I think everybody agrees with that. Too much crying, but he was the best shooter on the team. Yeah, he was. He cried a lot. And those faces he made and his arms in the air, crying for a foul call all the time and feel like he didn't get it and all that stuff. Yeah. But yeah, I just think James trying to get leverage, use leverage he has, perceives he has to get more money from the Sixers. That's all. But, it's business. And he's trying to, and soon, it wasn't long after that where James said that he believes this year's Philly team is his best chance that he's had to win a championship, this year's team. So go figure. But, James doing what he and his people do what he believes is right for him. About those dollars, man. Got to get those honey buns and keep folks employed. So who the heck coming out of the East? I'm going to stick with the Bucks for right now. It's kind of a wobbly pick, but I'm going to stick with them right now as of February 11th. and just we'll see what happens going forward. But as of right now, I'm going to stick with that. Assuming they're healthy, that's key. Chris Middleton specifically. But yeah, I remember that the comment, his reaction about it as well. So I think someone spoke out of turn, leaking the deal, leaking the rumor, the dream. The West, oh my goodness, stuff has changed. This week has changed a lot of predictions on that one. Yep, Ja hang around the wrong folks. And y'all see the clip, the clip put together about Ja bashing Ja and being basically fake tough. That clip is fire, man. Let's see. Come out of the West. Put that up there. Coming out of the West. I'm not picking the Mavs because at some point you got to stop, folks. Let's see. If KD's healthy, I'd pick Phoenix probably. Yeah. If he's healthy, if he can stay healthy. So yeah, right now, that's a big if though. If he can stay healthy, and if not all other guys, would you retain from the Rockets deals? Who would I keep from these deals? Man, I think Justin. I think they're all gone after this season's over. They won't be here next year. I don't think any of them will be. Danny Green, John Wall will be probably gone. John Wall's gonna be waived soon. Danny Green might not be here soon. And then I think Frank and Justin won't be here next year. I like what the Lakers did. Lakers got younger. They got better. I don't think they're going to be the best team in the West, though. They're better than they were on paper. But I think, well, hell, I don't know. Again, let me say this. I don't know what the Rockets posted on Rockets.com, but toward the end of Rafael's presser, he said his comment was that the John Wall deal was not yet done. And this is in spite of the fact Rockets sent out a press release Thursday night, which indicates to us that the deal was done, that it was official. So when Rafael said that, me and I'm not gonna say name, me and some colleagues were like, wait, isn't the deal done? Because if it weren't done, why are they sending out a press release? So, I mean, didn't get anything emailed today from the organization. So, I mean, Rafael is a smart dude. But when he said that, he didn't hesitate. He said that the deal wasn't done, wasn't official yet. I mean, because he said it in the sense that once it's done, then John Wall will be waived. Basically, that's what his whole comment was. But I was like, wait, isn't the deal done? So, this is very true. Ja better check himself, check his people too. Because his people, being tough guys or hanging around with tough guys get you out the league. And the league will go on without you. Talented or not, they'll move on without you. Keep it, hey, whatever. I think a healthy Nuggets squad, that's a good pick, Alex. I got nothing wrong with that. There's a lot of good teams in the West. Well, I mean, we have to see how the pieces fit in Phoenix. I mean, got to see if Book can stay healthy. Chris Paul. So that's an issue. So that's 3 question marks health-wise right there with Phoenix. So Denver, health, and clearly, every team needs health. Optimal health, you want that come playoff time. So that is a question. But when you're dealing with guys who had a history of injuries, they have larger question marks. And the Suns right now do lack depth. Good point solo. So we'll see what they get in the buyout market. I mean, the Mavs getting Terrence Ross, if they do that, that's more got another bucket getter. Yeah, stop them folks at some point. Good grief. I know what you meant. Sounds like Dip. I know what you meant, Solo. No worries. So a healthy Suns team is a huge question mark. But I'm going to stick with that. My pick right now on February 11th. Come April 1st, I might change my prediction. But hey, that's what it's all about. Alec Burke, he's not going anywhere. And I didn't believe Detroit was going to do anything outside of Sadiq Bey, a move. They weren't going to trade Alec Burks or Bojan Bogdanovic. I didn't think that would happen. Like the last 3 weeks, I didn't think that was going to happen. I mean, they asked for the moon, and they didn't waver on that. So I wasn't surprised at all about that. MVP. And let me ask you, Alex, because I think the league, what is your definition of MVP? Are we leaning more toward value to his team or the best player in the NBA? Because I think that's different. Because the best player in the NBA, Joker put up some sensational numbers. But Joel Embiid gave him the business, head up. Giannis still puts up some great numbers. Hell, SGA is putting up some great numbers in OKC. So who is the best player in the NBA? Luka. Before Kyrie, Luka carried a whole lot of weight and put up great numbers for the Mavs. So there's a lot. So who impacts winning the most? That's Jerry's definition. Alex says take MVP as a player who can take his team and excel past the best of the best. You can't just beat teams and then crumble against the other MVP candidates. So that's kind of taken out. Are you taking out Joker based on how you define it right there? Jason Tatum is putting up big time numbers and they're winning. It's a lot of great guys. Before he missed all this time, Kevin Durant had discovered the fountain of youth a little bit, of putting up some serious numbers. So I'm not sure. Best player. Top of my head, Joel Embiid. I said all those names went down and went to Embiid. So yeah, Joel Embiid. That's what I say right now. Joel Embiid. And of course, he needs to play enough games for me to qualify for that. So yeah, I'll say Joel Embiid. Should the Rockets trade the lottery pick if they don't get a top 2 or top 3? And trade them for a talented veteran? And would you want to package that with the 18th pick in the first round? I'd be good with that. I'd be good with that. Right now, as of right now, I am more of, I have more faith and confidence in Wemby and Scoot Henderson than anybody else in the lottery. So if the Rockets don't get either one of them, then yeah, I'd be open to packaging the pick. Yes. So yeah, should they go that far and say they should? I'm leaning toward they probably should do that. Yes. And if the Rockets don't, let me see, what is the calendar like for this year for the lottery? Let me pull it up. The lottery is coming up. It is the draft lottery is May 16th. So May 16th, if the Rockets don't get the first or second pick, finding out on May 16th in the lottery, that would be the capper of a crappy season. So May 16th. So a little more than 3 months away. The results, the lottery will take place, and Rockets will find out where they land in the lottery. And if it's not top two, the spin the Rockets will put on it will be, there are a lot of talented players in this coming draft. We believe in our draft department, and we'll find someone who will help us, help this franchise in our continued quest to return to the playoffs and contend for a championship. That's how they'll spin it. But in private, if they don't get first or second, they won't be happy. They're going to be hurt, pissed off, and disappointed, all those things. So time will tell on that. May 16th, that is it. That is the date of the lottery. And so that'll be a playoff game of, let's see, the semifinals, possibly. That'll be the conference finals. Either game 1 or game 2 of the conference finals would have started on May 14th or 15th, but could be the first date of the conference finals, either West or East also. So the lottery would take place either at halftime or before the conference finals begin on that. But hey, winning streak, win 2 in a row. It'll be a winning streak. And then those 2 games. Because, keep in mind, it's 4 crappy teams separated by, a game? Yeah, I think a game. Well, no, because Detroit and Charlotte have 15 wins. Rockets have 13. So 2 in the win column. The Hornets, Spurs, and Rockets each have 43 losses. Detroit has 42 losses. So it's real close. The team with the worst record in the NBA can't pick worse than 5th. But that would suck if you pick 5th. That means you don't get first or second. Yeah. But gonna wrap it up here, as always, and I'll let you know I might put in a lot of steps tomorrow here in this hotel, as long as only 1 elevator of 3 is working. So yeah, if you missed it earlier in the show, the hotel I am staying in Tampa only has 1 working elevator of the 3. 8 floors, 1 elevator works. About 4 hours ago, 2 young ladies were stuck in one of the other elevators for an hour. And the firefighters had to come pry the elevator open to get them out. So just keep that in mind as I'm walking down steps, hopefully, and whatever Sunday. But who will I think be the coach of the Rockets next year? I'm still leaning toward Jeff Van Gundy until I have reason to change that thought. So I see these skills. I'm not going to say anything. I'm not even going to respond to your comment. No comment. That's my comment to your statement. No comment. But as of right now, Jeff Van Gundy. And then the closer we get to once Steven Silas is let go, I think it'll be because I'm not sure Tim will be willing to spend a lot of money on a big time coach. So we'll see if that tune changes. So if he's not willing to spend big time money, then he's going to probably go with a younger coach, an up and coming coach that costs less. So I'm leaning toward that. But as of February 11th, I'm still going to say Jeff Van Gundy. But I think more and more time passes, that option will decrease. And Tim will go with someone that costs less. So we'll wrap it up. Well, you guys got me. Y'all did a great job. I had, oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. Because JVG gets paid well in the broadcast booth. That's why I don't think that'll happen. Because I had planned on just talk 30 minutes here on the show tonight. But once again, did an hour. It's great. I enjoy it. Always fun talking with you guys, talking Rockets, talking NBA, talking a little bit of Cougs as well on these Let's Talk Houston Rockets. Reminder once again, as always, hit the like button, smash the like button on this show, on other videos here on the Houston Roundball Review YouTube channel. We got probably 2 shows tomorrow on this channel. The Adman's Corner, recapping the big game, the NFL big game. And then before the big game takes place, we'll have Folks Talking Sports with Andy Yanez and Willie Gibson around 4 p.m. Central Time, 5 p.m. Eastern. And I should join them hopefully some point during that hour after I do post-game show of the Houston Cougars women's game against South Florida in Tampa. So that's where I am. As always, thank you very much. Let's see what we got here. May not do a show next Saturday because that'll be we can talk about what we see in the All-Star festivities. We could do that possibly. So we'll see how it all plays out. Let's see. Just subscribe to the channel. Follow, click the bell notification on the YouTube channel. I'll post updates, of course, in the community tab on the YouTube channel as well. And so, not sure if I'll do a show next Saturday or next Friday. So just keep tuned to the Houston Roundball Review on YouTube. And as always, thank you very much for your comments, your questions, your one-liners. A lot of fun. It's my pleasure to talk with you guys, your family. I appreciate it as always. Everybody take care. Peace.